Hey beautiful people, today I'm going to show you how to catch a swarm. So my hives have decided to swarm, even though they've been split this year, they decided to swarm again. Obviously they must be building up really fast. So I'm going to first show you where the swarm is. There was one up in the tree, but they've gone back down to their box. I went down there just then without my suit on. They got a little bit aggressive, so we're going to stay away from them, but we're going to spin you around for a second. And you can see swarms down on the floor there, so they're all around me at the moment. Let me spin you. Generally, well, you can see them all flying around me. So generally, with a swarm of bees, they're pretty gentle. Sometimes you can get the occasional sting, but they're normally pretty good. Obviously, if they start getting aggressive around me and I could feel it and smell it, then I'll be straight out of their way and getting my suit on. But I always kind of test first to see how it is before going out without my suit. If I'm going into my hives, guys, I'm honest, I get my suit on because sometimes they get quite aggressive with me. So I'm just going to put you down for a sec. I want to show you the boxes and stuff we've got to catch a swarm, just so if it's something you would like to do yourself, then you're basically able to do that. Okay, right, so got a couple in the back by here, right? So this by here is what you call a polynuke, right? So you got a front door and there's another back door. So as you come round, that's to let the bees in and out. That's the queen excluder to stop the bees coming out. And then you've got your vent, but there to vent them when you're taking them different places. But what I really like about these hives here, I'll just take the top bit off. Got a feeding station in the top by here, where you put your sugar water. So once you've caught a swarm, you can feed them some sugar water just to help them build up a little bit. And then inside, inside here then, guys, what we've got, whoop, my camera's playing up, sorry. What we've got then is our frame. So we've got a 6-frame box here. So this is wired frame inside, and this is on a deep, this is on a brood. So this is a standard brood frame. So you're gonna have to use brood first of all to allow them build up. So this box is gonna be a standard, not a deep brood. So if it's something you're looking to get, that's what you want. If you wanted a deep brood, you can have an added extra which goes on top. So basically, brood is baby bees, eggs, pollen, and obviously they'll put some honey in there. Then you have your honey supers above where they'll build honey then, but they're smaller sections. Over time, as I'm sharing stuff with you, the bees, I'll take you through those processes. But for now, we're just going to take you for a process how to catch some bees. I like doing it this way, guys, because I can keep them in that box and allow them to grow up. Obviously, you could use a normal box if you had a hive, chuck them in there and then take them back to your hive and then empty them to your hive. But I find this way easier. I can feed them up and I can leave them there for a longer space of time. But what I am going to get is some lemongrass. So I like to use lemongrass as a bit of a bait. So you just got basically, can't see it very well, but basically it's lemongrass essential oil. So I'm going to just put that on the top of my box. Just a couple of drizzles, guys. Okay, a couple of drizzles like that, top of my box. So that gives a bit of a scent, like a pheromone of like bees. It's something they like. So that's what I use as my bait. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take it over. They're quite low to the floor by here. So we're going to see what they do, because there's quite a big bundle of them coming in now. Let me show you. Extend my pole. As you can see here, guys, it's quite a mass amount of bees coming in here. So if we can get this box under these girls here, like that, right? Leave them by there, and they should start making their way into that box. So let's just stand in here and watch. There you go, they're starting to crawl up the side. There we go, see them coming up the side of the wall? So they can smell that pheromone now, so they're running up to get in there. and you can hear the noise. So if you're, spin you around. So if it's like obviously something you want to do and you're coming out to get the bees, they're flying around you nicely like this. Obviously sometimes the noise can be a bit overwhelming, so don't panic yourself when that noise is going. Just keep calm, and they'll just fly around you. As you see here, I might have some land on my face, on my head, but they're not attacking. When bees attack, they're darting at you. These are not. I'm just going to switch you around because how fast they're going in. It's absolutely incredible. I'm also going to switch you around for a second so you can see how, let's go down. You see them? Whoop, they go down. My bottoms, they're flying all over me. It's been sitting on my arm, and they are brilliant. But as you can see, they're coming in, they're loving that. They're coming in really, really fast. So that's great news, they're all with their bums up. So hopefully this is a nice easy swarm catch. And I don't know what the other ones are going to do because they went at the tree. So I brought 2 boxes down with me. So we'll go and have a nose after we've done this, but let's see what we do. There you go, see the clump that was on there? They've made their way down nicely there. There you go, see? Whoop. There we go, on the back of my hands. Quite happy. Hello girlies. Right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give them some time now, leave them there, let the clump go down, let all the bees off me, make their way over, and then what I'll do, I'll put the lid onto the box and just move them out because at the moment it's open, so it's nice and airy for them. Underneath there's a mesh. We have to keep that clear, otherwise they're going to suffocate and they're going to get hot. I had this lesson a couple of weeks ago. I sadly lost a big colony of bees. I put them in the back of my truck and I had stuff down and it blocked the airway underneath. And sadly I lost some bees. So that was one big lesson for me. I was distraught over that. But that was a huge lesson. I want to share all my lessons, guys, as well. I'm not scared to keep anything from you, what I've learned. So as we let them go in the box, they'll all settle in, we'll get the lid, and then we're going to take them down the bottom and we're going to put them on top of the crate so there's enough airflow underneath. And then in a separate video I'm going to show you how to make up some sugar water, which is easy enough then to feed to your bees to bring them along. But it'd be great, you know, if you had it in your garden and you could catch your own swarm and keep them, it'd be amazing because you can get your own honey and stuff. And there's plenty of people out there which will be willing to teach you or myself by following my videos. Right, so now they're in there, and I get my other box out. The other ones have gone back over, right? So when I was leaving earlier when I was leaving the field, I noticed it. So I've had to go back and get my stuff, and you know, a bit of time. But what they were doing, we got a big ash tree up there. So they grew up to the top of the ash tree, and it was quite a clump of bees. But what it seems like they've done is made their way back to the hive as if they're doing a test flight. So I'm just going to get another box, bait it like I just did with those guys, and just leave it there to see if that swarm that made their way out want to swarm over to that box, which will make it easier for me than trying to climb a tree. If we had that problem, we're going to try with the front end loader and go up. But obviously, if you're out in the sticks, you're not going to have that to do so. There are other ways that you could attach a pole to your stick, to your comb, you know, one of your foundations, take it up and try and get them on there and bring it down. But that's not going to be the easiest of tasks. So I'm going to take this lid off like we just did with the other one, bait it up. And we'll take it down. But sorry, wrong way. We did put a lot of space, to be fair, on these hives down the bottom. We put an extra brood on, some supers. So I'm not sure exactly why they've decided they want to swarm. So when I get to that point, I have to get my suit on because they're probably not going to be too great with me because one down just a second ago and one tried stinging me already. So let's see how this goes. You might see me running up the field with them chasing me. Let's get out there. I'm right in their path here, so I'm going to go behind, out their pathway. Oh, and they're nesting. Here we go, guys. This is an exciting one to show you. Right, so they've gone back to their old hive, okay? What they've done, they've gone underneath it. So what we're going to do is go underneath it. And there we go. They are making their way into the nuke. Now that is what we want to see. Well, I have to say, guys, I've been on some lucky ones by here today with them doing that. If those ones go in, but obviously those ones have up there, those ones have up there, nice and easy. Some of them I'm taking off, you know, harder bits of wood and they take a lot more time. But one thing, if you're going to go out and get a swarm of bees, I've done this with a box now, you're going to spend quite a bit of time really, because you want to get them into the box, then you're going to get the lid on, and then you're going to want to leave them then till about 10 o'clock in the evening. So they've all gone in basically, and you can shut the doors up, and when you do, making sure it's on the breathing hole, not the queen excluder where they can make their way out in transport. You're going to switch that over, you're going to take them to where the place they're going to be, and then you're going to put the queen excluder one on for them to go through for 2 or 3 days, just to make sure they embed into that hive. Then you're going to open up the main door. You're going to find they're going to maybe get a little bit aggressive with you for the first couple of days when that's closed. If you had it open, they're not likely to get aggressive with you. I tend to leave them open now because I've got quite a lot of swarms of bees that I've caught, so I'm not too worried about them. But obviously, if it's your first time and you don't want them going, it's not likely, but it's a just in case. But yeah, so I'm hoping all those techniques have helped you out a little bit in catching some bees. And what I'm going to do is take a break now, let them do their thing, and we're going to come back in about an hour or so and see how they're going into these boxes. Right, you want me? Right, okay guys, so Faith's filming me at the moment, which is awesome, so we've got some free hands here. If you come with me, Faith. So you can see, they've all now made their way out of the box. So that over there, can you see over there, Faith? Can you bring it in? This by here, they've stayed on there, so I've got a feeling the queen's in here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them by it, I'm going to move this over into here. And I'll get the box in on either side. I'm going to move them out so we can have a look what's going on here. But we've got them all in one place. So, let's have a look. There we go. If we have a look over here, Faith. There's not too many. There's a couple of bees you can see. Guys on the floor. Can you see it, Faith? On the floor and stuff by here. Well, hopefully they'll make their way over now, so we'll see if the queen's over there. So we just had to do it a bit of a different way. Nothing ever seems easy. So what you would normally do, you can either just lay it on the top here on the box and let them go down, or you can just give it a bit of a shake, which then allows them to go down. If you've got a big stick, just gets them go in the box, especially if the queen is bundling inside. Get them off.
I think she's there.
It looks like a bundle over there. I can't see her on here. If she is, they'll end up flying back to me. So let's see what goes on here.
I think they're there in the middle.
It does look like she's right for there, doesn't it? Because they're right over the top of her by here. But why are they balling here? Let's have a look. I want to go to my top, so I'm going to pull that up a little bit. Right, this is definitely getting them in. Chuck that over there. Wait. I don't know why they're balling though. There might be two queens. I hadn't seen this happen before. Can you see it by here, guys? Really balling. Just gently.
Just two up there.
Could be two queens in here and they've chosen their one, maybe, I don't know. This is new to me. Bring her around the front, look, babe. There you go. See, they're just blocking the door. This is what I was talking about earlier. See, I'm blocking the door. So I was talking earlier about you needing some, you know, kind of something underneath to like keep it up. So I'm gonna have to find something in the truck now, just a bit of wood or something, just to lift that up for a second so the bees don't suffocate themselves. Right, what have we got here? Got right. I think we're going to have to move it, Faith, and hopefully the rest will follow. They've all made their way out of here, so they'll follow us down to the bottom. So if we can basically lift this up, what we're going to do, Faith, follow me. I'm going to walk it down and put it on the crate down here. So I know they've got enough here to get in. There we go. We're all happy. Don't got my top, lovely. Right, coolio. They're happy with there for a second. I think the front entrance was open. It's open, they're on their way in. Right, so next step. I'm just going to go and get a lid to put on top. And I'm also going to find something, I'll get it from over there, which is nice, which is not too harsh, just brush the bees in. Making their way over, they're not swarming back to the same place, which is great. You see the skyline with them moving, just making their way down there into this area where we want them. What I'm going to do, and this looks like an elder by here. Beth will be happy if it is. No, not ash. It's fine. Looks a bit like elder. Right, so what I'm going to do, nice soft leaves, something natural that they're going to be used to. If they were up in the tree and the wind was blowing on them, just brushing them off the edges. Nice and gently. There we go, so there's not so many bees there now. On the top, give me a couple. So what I'm going to do is slowly, don't squish too many bees. Keep it up slightly for there, so they'll make their way back out of the gap they just tried to get into. Realise that that's not the way in anymore. And then what we'll find, so they're all going to make their way then to the front by here. So just let them, they're all gathering and they'll make their way into there. It's going to take them a little while to get into that gap. As you can see, they're all making their way around. Just slowly moving that top bit to make sure any bees that are there make their way out and not too stuck. They've all got their bums up. So now I've done my job. I'm going to leave them now. I'm happy. They're making their way in. They're not seeming to go back over there. They're making the beam lines making their way over, so they seem to be happy. And I'll update you in the week then how these are doing, and we'll have a hive check.